Hey, Michelle, how you doing?
Are you kidding me? I'm speaking at Summit. Hashtag stoked.
Oh my gosh, look at these guys. These guys are pumped up. Hashtag Summit. Hashtag turned down for what?
I know. I mean, like, this only happens here. Hashtag Vegas, baby. Hashtag what happens in Vegas doesn't really stay in Vegas. Hashtag it goes on Facebook. Hashtag don't get crazy, y'all.
Well, you are looking mighty fine. Hashtag fit mom.
Well, you know, thank you. I got to participate in this little test group. I don't know if you guys have heard about this workout. Hashtag PIO.
Yeah.
Hashtag Chalene Johnson. Hashtag get lean. Hashtag body after baby. Hashtag I had a baby 6 months ago. Hashtag that's right.
Yeah, that's good. That's right.
Now seriously, like, what have you been doing here?
Well, stop it
like,
now.
hashtag suns out, guns out. Hashtag I eat biceps for breakfast. Hashtag are you kidding me?
Hashtag stop it.
Hashtag yes, ma'am.
Yes. Well, you know, I've been lifting a lot more, you know, hashtag I gotta bring it, you know, hashtag I kissed Tony on the cheek the other day. Hashtag do the rabbit.
I thought that you did jumping more like insanity style. Hashtag focus. Hashtag dig deep. Hashtag Sean Prevention. Hashtag motivate Sean. Hashtag celebrate Sean. Hashtag, nah, I got time for that.
Whoa. Hashtag obsession.
Hashtag Sean Prevention.
Yes. Yes.
But you know, I mean, I do the business side too. I mean, you know, like hashtag I nurse while I'm on conference calls. Hashtag work at home mom. Hashtag invite. Hashtag invite. Hashtag invite. Hashtag y'all get that? Hashtag invite.
Well, you know, I do a little bit of the business too. Hashtag got diamonds. Hashtag I could join Patty's Millionaire Club. Hashtag hubby won't like that though. Hashtag shake and share. Hashtag Shakeology.
Num, 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 num. But you know, like, they're here maybe, so we should kind of talk to them. Otherwise, this could get a little bit hashtag awkward.
Yes. Hey! Hey, guys. Thank you so much for choosing this workshop. Michelle and I are so excited to have you here. It was a fantastic workshop yesterday, and we are excited because we are making this one even more awesome. So you came to the right day. No.
Yeah. Good job.
Yeah, but we really wanted to make sure that you guys, of course, get what you need for where you are now in your business, because I know a lot of coaches are constantly trying to chase shiny things, go to the greener side of the grass, trying to figure things out. But the realistic aspect is, let's figure out exactly what should you have nailed and set up now in your business at the rank that you are in your business. And that's where Michelle and I are going to go through.
That's right.
All right, so we just want to kind of go through a little bit about ourselves. Of course, I am a Superstar Diamond 2 coach, and I'm originally from New York, upstate New York. So I don't have the New York City accent, so yes, upstate, farm country. But we moved down to Dallas, Texas a couple years ago, so now I'm starting to sound a little Texan too. But my family, we do a bunch of things. We all are in Taekwondo, and my kids are almost black belts, and I also film videos for Beachbody doing turbo kick and PIO, and additionally really like to focus a lot on my coaches. This is a picture from one of the events where I spoiled my diamonds for a weekend, and I also run certifications, so I train people for turbo kick, insanity, and PIO. I wear multiple hats, and that's kind of where I wanted to show you. But the most important hat that I wear is, of course, being a mom, because this is the #1 priority of why I'm doing what I'm doing, is to really be that example for my kids. I really want them to grow up strong, confident, and secure in themselves, and knowing that their parents are both there, and giving them the best example to follow. And I didn't even know my daughter was doing that in the car, and I looked over and I was like, I gotta take a picture of that. Copycats, they copy what you do. But there's a picture of my husband and my 2 kids, Johnny and Peyton, and we really like to stay connected as a family and really do as much together as possible, and I think that we are pretty incredible. Yes, we all do dress up every Halloween, so Michelle.
Awesome. Well, I'm not as big of a deal as Christine is, but I don't have as many hats. But we do share the most important hat, and that is mom. Those are my 2 little boys. Noah is 3. Cole is 6 months old today. And oh, thanks. Yeah, happy birthday, bud. He's here. Who celebrates their 6-month birthday in Vegas?
That's right.
You know?
Woo!
Starting early.
Starting early.
But that's my husband, James. He's a pastor. Wouldn't you show up to church every Sunday if your pastor looked like that?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Totally.
But faith and fitness is really important to our family, and so the fact that I'm able to have a business that allows me to put everything together, all of my passions, I'm very, very, very grateful. So to find Beachbody has been an amazing blessing for us. So the fact that I'm up here is crazy.
Definitely. But what we really, again, we want to kind of wrap up in this last session. And I know you guys have been filled for multiple days with a lot of content. And I'm thankful that these are being recorded, of course, so you can go and review them and, of course, share them with your team. So really just dive into your notes and write down exactly the strongest points that you really need to, do right now in your business, as well as to really focus on or correct. But really what we want to focus on in this is really looking at being a coach as a hobby as opposed to a career. There is a difference. And we're not saying that one is right or wrong.
Neither one of them is wrong. So what we do want you to understand is that hobby behaviors and career behaviors are different, and the behaviors are what are going to determine your results. And so you can't do hobby behaviors and get career results. So we're going to walk through, if you see like a hobby person, they're a user, whereas a career person is a planner. So a hobby person, they use the product, they're all about Shakeology, they work out with our programs, but a planner is doing webinars, they're scheduling out their day, they're making things for their business happen, they're prioritizing their business as much as their fitness. So we want to make sure that you understand that whichever path you choose, that you're doing the right behaviors to get you the right result.
Yeah, I want to really kind of reiterate what she just said. So a hobbyist, think about this just for yourself. Do you actively, every day, schedule exactly what you're going to do in your business every day? It doesn't matter if it's your birthday. It doesn't matter if you're on vacation, right? You're still doing that activity every day. And if you're not achieving Success Club every month, if you're not running challenge groups every month, if you're not sponsoring or inviting or sharing all the time, should I say, every month, it would be sporadic, right? Then you have to look at it as you have to be real with yourself. That you may be just a hobbyist in this, and you have to own that. So accept where you are, and if you're not happy where you are, if you're like, I have been doing this like a hobbyist, I say I want this as my full-time career, but I'm not doing what I should be doing every day to make this full-time income, then you have to be real with yourself. And that's what we want to help you with, a little bit of the background on that. So as we bring this up, this came up to me, and it really kind of came to me recently, where we're looking at being a coach as a hobby or a career. But it's not really that. We have to look at it as, is this your side job, or is this your profession? So before you raise your hands, how many of you went to college to go to college to get a degree to become a network marketer? Oh, none.
None.
Right? Because we have to think in the box. Because I know when I was in 11th grade, my guidance counselor pulled me into the office and she goes, okay, where are you going to go to college? What are you going to go for? And I'm like, I have no idea what I want to do. I have no idea. I just want to cheerlead. That's all I know. That's it. And I really wanted to be a teacher, but my entire graduating class, 91 of us, small cool, yeah, wow. Was all like going to be teachers. They all were going to be teachers. I said, well, I'm never going to get a job if all of us are going to become a teacher. So one of my friends was going to x-ray school, so I said, I'll go with you. I like technology. So I went and did that. And mammograms and barium enemas. Yes, all of that stuff. So that's the path that I went. That's what, you go to college to get out with an expected in-the-box career. This isn't. Being an entrepreneur, people don't look at initially as a profession or as a career. Do you? What do you say when someone says, well, what do you do for a living? How do you respond to that? Do you have to explain it all? Do you say everything else you do, and then you say, I'm a Beachbody coach, which people think you're down on the beach training people, right? So you have to look at this as my profession. That's what I am. This is my profession. My profession is a network marketer. I'm an entrepreneur. That's my profession for life. I've always been, little did I know, an entrepreneur in some of the jobs that I've been doing along the way as an independent contractor.
When I first started, I was most definitely a side job person. You guys heard him when he introduced me. I was Emerald for forever. And then I went to an event, so congrats for being here, step one.
Yay!
And I decided that day that I was going to do this as a business, and I went diamond in 9 days.
Yes.
From that point. And it was just deciding that I was going to do things every single day. It was an attitude. It was a posture change. It was recognizing that I couldn't just have a website and make money, that I couldn't just tell people about the product and expect them to know, oh, well, I can buy it from her since she told me about it. I had to go the extra step. I had to follow up. I had to start treating this like a profession. And when I did, results follow. So that's what we're going to tell you all about today, how you can actually do that.
You know, just another thought to wrap this side of it all. Here's another thing to think about. I was talking with my sister, and she has a coach, and I said, well, whatever happened to her? You know, she was doing these challenge groups, and I was working with her because, you know, she was connected to me, and I said, whatever happened to her? She all of a sudden just kind of dropped off and disappeared. And she said, oh, you know, well, she's building a house right now, so she's, you know, really busy, but she really needs the money, though, so she really should do this because she says she really needs the money, but, you know, she's busy building a house. Are you guys ever busy? Like, do you ever have anything pop up in life? No? None of y'all are busy? Okay. Hello, life, just like everyone has been saying on the main stage, you're going to have all those bumps all the time. It's a matter of, do you let your birthday, your vacation, your whatever interrupt your activity? That's the difference between a side job, where it's something on the side that you do, and choosing to do this as a profession. So this is where we're going to dive even deeper into what exactly does a hobby coach do. So let's kind of run through some of those points. So as we have them up here, oh, here's our monitor. Basically, generally, if you think about it, a hobbyist is a person who generally uses all the products. They use the products, but they're not actively thinking about sharing them all the time. They have a lot of conversations with people. They might be drinking Shakeology at work, and people say, oh, what are you drinking? And they just say, Shakeology. And that's all they think of. They never think that there's a next step. They don't move conversations into diving deeper with people to find out what their need is. They don't initiate conversations, typically, to try to be more social. Because honestly, that's what it's about. It's not really about trying to stalk someone to go present the business to them. It's about just trying to be more social and have more conversations to unsurface. Is that a word? Unsurface?
That's a word.
Okay. I'm not good with grammar.
It is now. It works.
To unsurface those right conversations that will lead to something Beachbody. So you have to have like 20 conversations to have 5 possible directions to go Beachbody. Does that make sense? Can you make 20 conversations that you have with people go about Beachbody and talk about a challenge pack or your coaching? No, because that would be weird, right?
Yeah, it would be awkward.
That would be, you would be weird.
Yeah.
If you did
Look
that.
at me when you say that.
You would be weird, yes.
You would be weird.
They post occasionally. You know, they're not thinking about it. Their posts on Facebook might be very sporadic. Michelle's got a good tip that she's seen on Facebook.
All right, so if you were going to post about business and you're going to use social media for business, every post that you do, whether you think that it is or not, is promotion or demotion of your business. So here's an example. If you were like, Shakeology is the best thing ever, my life has changed. 15 hours later, worst period, migraine period, ever period. Have you ever seen that? Okay, so here's what I'm gonna, this is free. Because Facebook asks, what's on your mind? Twitter asks, what are you doing? Those are horrible questions. Yeah. Sometimes people don't need to know what's on your mind.
Yes.
Okay? So I want you to erase those questions, and I want you to, even if you need to, put a sticky note up on your computer and make it say, what can I post that will cause people to want me as an influential part of their life? And if it doesn't answer that, don't post it. Okay, I'm done.
A hobbyist would say, oh, it's awesome weather out today.
Woo.
Right?
Yeah.
A hobbyist would say, oh, I'm going to the racetrack today. Like statements, you know, they're not thinking of exactly what they would put to create conversation and to communicate with people. Every post should be really thought out. Everything that you're putting up on your website, if you were doing this for a career, would be thought out and for a purpose, not just to fill up the space on your wall. All right? And basic website use. Of course, just going in your Coach Back online office, kind of surfing around. Now, how many of you have those coaches that ask you the same question 10 times over and again, and you keep answering that question over, and you just want to say, just go look in your back office?
Don't raise your hand if they're sitting next to you.
I know. Yeah, you might be in trouble. It's you. Because a basic hobbyist coach is they're not doing this all the time. They're not engaged. They're not constantly in the world. You gotta be in this world. You have to bleed blue to really be as a career with this. And a hobbyist isn't. They're just kind of in and out, and when they need to know something, they panic. And then they're like, what is it?
FAQ, bottom of every page for reals.
Right,
Okay.
FAQ. Okay, why is that so tiny and at the bottom of the page? Did you guys all realize? If Beachbody wants us to use that FAQ, please make FAQ bigger. I'm going to the camera.
But no, it's there.
And socially involved. They just like to be a part of challenge groups, the Facebook group that you have. You know, they're just generally a part, and they like to cheer people on and kind of give their 2 cents here and there. That's a hobbyist. So this is what a hobbyist is going to get. So if this is the type of activity that you're realizing, this is kind of me, oh my gosh, I'm really not planning out my day to do this efficiently. This is the outcome in your business that you'll get.
So you can expect, as a hobby coach, you can expect some extra accountability. If you are getting plugged in with Beachbody, your coach is probably going to hold you accountable to your fitness results. You're probably going to see some difference in just the people that you're hanging around. You guys know that you have a bazillion Facebook friends that you've never met before. Maybe you met them here, maybe you haven't. But if you just see that you have 8,000 Beachbody friends in common, you're like, oh, sure, we're all in the same family. So you're going to have some accountability. You have some extra accountability there. You're going to have a happier and a healthier life. I mean, I remember when I first started inviting people to come to events, I never told people, hey, I want you to come check out this sweet business and sign up and make me a bazillion star diamond coach. I would tell them, I want you to come meet these people. I want you to come meet my friends. I want you to come hang out. I want you to come see what we're about. Because there really is something different about the people that are here. Like, when you're walking around in the casino, like, can't you tell the people that are here with Beachbody and the people that are not?
Yeah. EDC. That pool looks gross.
Whoa.
Like, seriously, you guys looking in that pool and seeing how gross the water's getting by the day?
Yeah.
Like, as it increases?
Yeah.
Ugh.
It just got real.
Grossed me out.
But seriously,
Sorry.
there's a difference. Okay, motivation. You're going to be around people that are making themselves better, so naturally, you're going to become better. You're going to have a little bit of extra skip in your step. Again, is anything that I said, is that bad? No, it's not bad. But this is what you can expect from those things. One more thing is you can expect low and random income. Because if you're randomly talking to people, if there's no system to it, if you're not regularly inviting people, if you're not following up, there's going to be no regularity. Where you might go, oh, I got paid? How did that happen? I didn't tell anybody about it this week.
Yeah.
Well, good, because you didn't get paid on this week, you got paid on last week. And I don't know how you told somebody about it, but maybe you did. Maybe they magically found your site. But I mean, that's the kind of income that you can expect. It's not going to be a regular paycheck. It's not going to be anything that you can rely on to pay your bills. It's just going to be some extra, maybe like fun money.
You know, and so people can actually move rank and feel like they're actually doing this as a career. Like, some people can be diamond coaches, but make $18 every 2 weeks.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Why would they make only $18 every 2 weeks? No volume, no coaches. They basically have the bodies to be diamond, but they're not building their team. They're not sponsoring, and they're not teaching their team to sponsor, and they're not creating any volume in their legs. So they're always going to be making these random $18 team cycle bonuses when the people's Shakeology start to accumulate. That's a hobby coach. So just because you're diamond doesn't mean that you're doing this as a career. That's the difference. You still have to think of the activity. Rank means nothing, by the way, guys.
True.
Rank is ego. Rank doesn't always mean money, okay? Oh. So think about that. All right, so let's move into, okay, so what does it look like then if we're working with career coaches? And by the way, just because my rank is what it is, it's not because I was going for ego.
I know.
I was trying to make people successful.
No, I know. But you didn't do it so that you could be that rank. You did it so that we could be that rank.
That's right.
I'm with you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, you're welcome.
Okay, what it looks
You
like.
can pay me
this
later.
is career obligations of what you would be typically doing in your business. So your personal habits. Think about, okay, what exactly would you be doing if you are doing this as a career? You wake up, we roll out, and we go down into an office. Are you working on your bed? Are you working on your couch? Because if you are, that's not a location. Okay? So we have to think about that. You have to have a set location. So we're working in an office, and you might do it with bedhead and spandex and pajamas or whatever. Sometimes people do it naked, I'm sure, right? Admit it. Who does? Who does it naked? Who doesn't?
There had to be one.
There it is.
It's Vegas.
We're
there had to be
watching
one.
you. Yeah. Okay. But that's what a lot of people will do is we have to think about, okay, roll out and we start doing business. It's about planning your activity for your own personal business, for your coach's business, and also for your organization, your downline. So for your own personal business, the type of activity that you have to do, of course, would be, of course, consistently running challenge groups. So you're consistently setting them up and promoting and grooming people to fit them in the right workout to be able to be a part of. You're consistently achieving Success Club. You're consistently inviting people every day. If you're not asking someone to join and look at this business every day, you're not doing your business effectively to build it as a career. Now, I know a lot of people run these different types of boot camps, and some of them are really hard. They make people share the business with 5 people a day. They do. A lot of people do. I make people do it 1 per day. I don't think that that's a problem. You can effectively go to your list and reach out to someone, go to their friend's friend, and reach out to someone every day. It's about proactively thinking in your schedule. Where on your schedule are you working? Do you have the set hours? Do you have the timeline of when you're going to do certain calls, when you're going to do your workout, when things are going to happen? That constant activity and habit in your own business. The planned content, everything that you're putting out, the videos, the blogs, your posts on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, wherever you're living, that all has to be crafted. It's not willy-nilly. All right? It's crafted every day for a specific reason and result. And with your coaches, specifically doing the exact same thing with them, walking more with more of your coaches, reaching down more than just your personal sponsor, down 2 to 3 levels, working with their coaches. Because can you trust your coach is going to pass it on effectively? It's the telephone game, right? So we have to think about if we can reach a little bit more and have a stronger web right below us, you're going to have more result happen in your business. And with your organization. As a career coach, depending on what rank you are, you might be responsible for running conference calls, webinars, creating video training, creating coach basics training, creating training that is going to support your downline in your organization, more than just yourself. You can't be successful if you focus on yourself. That's exactly it. You have to focus on other people's success, 100%. And as I wrap this down with the no matter what's, the no matter what's, and how many of you guys set goals? Oh, just a few of you. Good. All
Okay,
right, no. A bunch of y'all raise your hand. Good. Okay, I don't set goals. And I teach my team, you're not setting goals. Because a lot of people set goals at the end of the month. They say, okay, I'm going to get Success Club 5 at the end of the month. This is the month. I'm going to do it. From this month on, every month, I'm going to get Success Club 5. I'm going to do a challenge group every month. But then they get busy, and it's the 30th of the month, and I've got 2 points. Oh, I didn't make it. I didn't hit my goal this month. I'll just do it next month. Next month. We let our goals go. It's okay, right? It's okay sometimes if we don't hit our goal that month, because we'll then just pick it up the next time. We miss our goals. I don't on my no matter what's. No matter what, I'm hitting Success Club 10 at the end of the month, no matter what. It's now because I've got a really long record of it, I just don't want to lose it anymore. But really, there will not go a month that I don't hit it. And I will find a way to make that happen, no matter what. And then I'm going to let you guys know a little secret here. The leaders don't think that they all have their life perfect. Don't think that they have a ton of coaches signing up with them all the time. Don't think that they don't ever stress about Success Club. They do. They freak out too, just the same as you. I know I do. There's months where I'm like freaking out to my husband, John, going, I only have 2 Success Club points and it's the last week of the month. What am I going to do? Because I need 10. What do you think I do? Bust my ass. That's what I do. I go freaking working everything. I go to the neighborhood. I go to the friends, everybody. I go start talking to tons of people, even when I don't want to, and even when I don't look good, I do. Because I have to. I need to call up old relationships. And I have. I've called back to Rochester to people who've taken my class before going, so you want to get something? Like, seriously. And they do. You find a way. It's your no matter what. If you are serious, you will make it happen. And if you do plan those things, this is what you're going to get.
I'm just going to piggyback on her real fast. If you are looking at no matter what and going, this is absolutely exhausting because I've set the goal for Success Club before and it's never happened and I am scared to make that a no matter what because I don't know if it can happen. Then what you have to figure out is, okay, let's make a game of darts. How about it? If you want to be really good at darts, what's the best way to do it? Throw more darts. And so by presenting the business more, if that's your scary point, you get better at it. I had zero idea how to present the business when I first came into this. I remember the first time that somebody ever asked me what I had just started to do because they saw some post that I'd done on Facebook that was probably terrible. And they were like, so tell me a little bit about this. And we help people and it's fitness and it's fun and yeah. That's about what it sounded like. And then when I actually decided that I was going to learn how to present the business, I got plugged into some tools. I watched 8,000 videos in the back office. I memorized some things, and I made myself do it. I started with stuffed animals, then I bumped up to my dog, then I went to my kids, then I started begging my friends and my mom and my sister and my cousin to listen to me, and some of them actually signed up. I'm telling you. And now Ryan Gosling could wake me up at 3 o'clock in the morning without a shirt on and ask me what it is to be a Beachbody coach, and I could tell him. And it's not because I am the best salesperson in the entire world. It's simply because for the last 4.5 years, I have done it 3 to 5 times a week, no matter what. That's it.
Yeah,
that's
definitely.
It. Okay.
Okay. So this is what you're going to get.
Whew. All right, so what you can expect is a purpose-driven life.
Amen. Amen.
Yeah. Okay, sorry, my husband's a preacher. I warned y'all about that. Okay, so you can expect a purpose-driven life. You can expect to be able to do what you want to do and to be able to set some goals and some dreams to your family and see those things come to fruition. You can have unlimited career growth potential. Okay, how many of you have been a coach for more than 1 year? Leave your hands up if you got a raise last year.
If you got a raise
from Beachbody, because you made more money. Okay, how many of you have, sit down, Jeff. How many of you have a regular job? How many of you got a raise last year? Okay.
Well, didn't.
It's unbelievable that we have a job that we can come to where we can seriously get a raise not only every year, we can get a raise every month.
Yeah.
We can get a raise every week. We just have to do a little bit more. So you have unlimited potential. There are very, very few jobs that can say that. Mm-hmm. You can have consistent and residual income. Consistent residual income to where maybe you have a JOB. And if you start getting some consistent stuff coming in with Beachbody, you can fire your boss.
Yeah.
That might sound fun. And then leaving a legacy. And this is the part where it gets so real. You know, this is my first year that I'm at Summit with a whole lot of my team. There's about 75 of us here.
Yay!
Yeah.
That's the awesome feeling.
And that is the coolest thing, because I remember showing up at events by myself. Let me tell you how much fun that was. Some of you are here by yourself, and you're like, oh, girl. I totally know what you're saying. Because I would just see somebody that was like my grandma in the business, because that's what I call her. Y'all can't do that. Only I can.
Yes, you can.
Yeah. But I would just be like, hey, can I hang out with you? Because I don't know anybody else here.
You're knocking me over. I'm on stilts right now.
Sorry about that. Because like, my team wasn't here. And so now when I get to see my team and I see the things that they're able to achieve, the vacations that they're able to go on, the things that they're able to do, it just makes my dream bigger. It's bigger than me. My business is officially bigger than me. And so having a legacy, I want you to think right now, think about that one coach. Think about that one coach in your downline that has like that gut-wrenching why. Do it for them. Yeah. If you can't do it for you, do it for them. Because they need you. And this can make it happen. This can make it happen.
This is something to leave behind. Like if you have a family, this is what you're carrying on.
Absolutely.
To them. Exactly.
Right.
Okay, so what we want to kind of dive a little bit deeper into is this little turtle effect. So I don't know if you guys know much about sea turtles, but I kind of watch all these crazy different shows. I'm obsessed with TV at late night. That's how I fall asleep. But I like to watch Discovery Channel and all that. And I saw this about sea turtles. So a little fact about them is that when the mom or the female comes up onto the beach to lay her clutch of eggs, she digs them down into the sand, and then of course when they hatch, those sea turtles, they come out of their shell, and if it's the daytime that they get hatched, and they come out of the sand, and they kind of have to scurry as quick as they can to get to the sea. Why? Why do they have to get there fast? The birds, yeah, the seagulls want to come and get them. There's 1% chance of them living in the daytime if they hatch. Only 1% of them is going to live because the probability of them getting eaten up is high. So hopefully they get hatched at night, and the possibility of them making it is a little higher. But once they get to the ocean, is there anything else in there that can eat them? Yes, there's a ton of stuff in there that's going to eat them. The problem is that a lot of us coaches are treating our coaches like turtles. We sign them up, and we say, okay, here's your coach online office, here's some tools, pack them in the sand and say, here's your books we want you to read, here's some webinars I want you to do, here, do all this homework. All right, tell me when you're done here. Yeah. Go. Oh, run a challenge group too.
And present the business.
Yeah, tell 5 people about the business.
And make a YouTube video.
Yeah, make a video.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you watch that webinar? Honestly, no, that a lot of coaches are leaving their turtle coaches on their own to fend for themselves, to figure it out. They constantly keep telling them to Google, to go to YouTube, to check that fact, to go to the coach online office, to go to that whatever. But your job as a coach, did you know it's in the compensation and policy plan, is to personally groom your coaches? Did you know that? It's your job in the policy. It is. Read it. If you didn't read that policy, you better read it. Jonathan Gelfin's my best friend. He knows I read that thing. But seriously, it's your job to handhold your coaches more often. Because if you keep burying them in the sand with a ton of homework and assignments and not teaching them how to do it by helping them along the way, you're never going to have success. The probability of those turtles actually having success in their business is very small. So, what do we have to work like? What we have to really think about is we have to work like ants. I mean, isn't it weird? Like, do you really know why ants follow each other? Is it because they're like, oh, there's an ant, I'll follow you. Hey.
See, I'm an ant. I told you.
Do you know? Pheromones. Because the leader ant lays their pheromones on their feet as they're walking, and then the other ones smell them.
It's getting personal,
That's
y'all.
right. That smells good. You got good cologne on. That's good.
Appreciate that.
That's how they follow. Because that leader ant is leading the pheromones in their feet, and that's what the other ants keep doing, the same thing. So that's where the path is going. That's how you have to act. You have to keep leaving a better trail so that your ant coaches will start to follow more into that trail. That's going to create a stronger team. You're going to work a lot more efficiently together, and you're going to have a lot more activity happen in your business. All right, so now think about these things. Some feelings conjure up, right? As soon as you see these pictures. What are some things you think about when you just see Starbucks? What are some things you think about? Yell it out. Expensive.
Calories.
Bitter coffee, calories, what?
It's a fitness crowd. Somebody had to say calories.
Long lines. Yes. Long lines. Consistency. Ooh, yeah. Everywhere you go, right?
She came yesterday.
Marketing, definitely. How about Mickey Mouse? Ooh, you said to get the butterflies, didn't you?
That was good.
Yes, it's like a magic. Well, I didn't plan to sound like that, but it was like a magical feeling. It's an experience, right? There's no gum on the ground. They're constantly picking it up. What about Abercrombie and Fitch? What do you feel like with that?
Cologne, I heard it.
What is it? Their clothes? Hot? It's hot in there. It smells so much like cologne, all that cologne.
They sell clothes, but their models are naked.
The models are naked.
That's awkward.
It's so loud in there.
Yeah.
You feel old when you walk in. Anybody?
Yeah. Oh,
okay.
word.
But is that consistent everywhere you go? Every Abercrombie & Fitch you go? Why? Why is that successful?
Because it's a system.
It's a system. These companies run their business as a system everywhere. Everyone's doing the exact same thing so that you're getting the exact same result everywhere you go. Exact same feeling, exact same response, right?
Right.
All right, so then what about these dudes and dudettes?
So we're going to give you some analogies. They know them.
What?
Yeah, they know them. So we're going to give you guys some analogies that maybe you can understand. So I want you to imagine that you did a Tony Horton workout with no pull-ups and no corny jokes. Would you feel gypped? Yes. Okay, what if you did a Shalene workout where she frowned the whole time and yelled at you?
Yelled at you.
Okay. What if you did a Shanti workout where you could actually breathe? Okay. Would there be something missing? Yes, there would be something missing. And so what you need is just like you know what to expect when we have a new workout coming out. Did you tell people about Payo before you saw it? Of course you did. You can trust Shalene. And so what we have to do with our business is that we have to become the kind of system that we can duplicate just like this, to where everybody knows exactly what they're going to get. It's when you sign up, it doesn't matter if I know you, if I like you, if I don't really know you, if I don't really like you. You're going to get the exact same treatment. Exact same.
You know, so what we're going to go through right now is something that we've matched up, and we're going to do right now before we do this?
No, talk.
Oh, okay, sorry. What we've matched up is rank to school. So basically, we're going to match like an emerald rank into elementary school, right? And then a diamond and above to middle school. So basically, you're following whatever your rank you are, you're in that school. And this is the activity that you have to have completed before you can move up to the next school. So for instance, you can't be diamond and not have completed the activity that is assigned to an elementary school person. Does that make sense? Okay, so just before we actually go into this, a little bit about my background is I've never done network marketing ever. So people think, you know, just because some people are successful in this business is that this is what they've already done. They've always been a network marketer and they just moved on to the next one and they've been able to create success. I have never done this. I actually vowed never to do network marketing because I never wanted to stock all that extra product and rope all my family and friends in. And I was actually presented this business before I joined and I said, no, who wants to spend the monthly fee? I didn't know. I didn't know what this is about. And a year passed before I actually realized what it was and that I was actually really kind of already doing this in my life. I was already selling all the Beachbody products to everybody I knew because I was using them and I knew they worked. I was like, oh, and this is just a vehicle for me to be able to support more people outside of my backyard. That's all it was. And so when I joined this, I knew nothing about this. I had to figure it out. And the reason why I was able to achieve success, I was the first person to achieve 15-star in my first year and a half of the business. And I was only able to do that, though, not because of rank. I honestly didn't even know what 15-star meant. I didn't really even know. I was really stressed out when I started about making other people successful. That was what I was freaking out about. When I started, I was 5 months pregnant with my daughter. I already had my son. He was 2 years old. I had 2 full-time jobs and 3 part-time jobs at the time. My husband had a full-time job where he had to go drive an hour to Buffalo. I was living in Rochester at the time, and then drive an hour back home. So he was gone all the time, too. That's how I started. There's an excuse, of course, to not be successful because I'm busy, right? And because I had a baby. I had to make a choice, though. I had to make a choice because when I signed up people, I invited the world to sign up with me because I knew that there was a potential in this. I finally saw what the potential was. I invited the world, and we had a lot of people sign up on that same day. Now I was freaking out because now everybody's looking at me going, okay, so what do we got to do now? And I was like, I have no idea. No idea. Seriously, that's why I read everything under the sun, watched every webinar. I was on a webinar 2, 3 all the time at night on conference calls. Beachbody didn't have any training like they do now. It was horrible back then. There was nothing for us. It was fend for yourself. It was turtles. That's what it was like. So we had to figure it out. And that was the sole reason why I was able to achieve success, was because I had to figure out how can we have people start doing the same type of activity. The only way I knew that that was going to be a success was because of my years of other jobs that I've done in my life. When I was in X-ray, when I used to do applications, I would always create a training system for people to follow and then teach people to follow it. That was what every path I ever did. So I just carried that into this position, and it worked because systems work.
Absolutely. And so how many of you, and I want you to be honest, have ever been like, man, if my downline would just do what they were supposed to do, I would be an awesome coach because I'm awesome and none of them are awesome. Okay, if you hadn't said it, you thought it, or they're sitting next to you, either one. And so, but what you may have is most problems in your business are not people problems. Most problems are not people problems, especially if they're happening across the board. They're systems problems. They're systems problems. You have a stinky system in place. So I'm going to give you an analogy. How many parents of older kids do I have in here? Parents whose kids, it is their job to take out the trash. Okay? All right, I'm going to give you an analogy that I heard on a talk on systems. This is genius. And you are going to thank me in parenting and in your business. You're going to thank me for both. Okay, so this system, this dad would come home and he would say, hey, guys, you take the trash out? Oh, yeah, Dad, we'll get to it. An hour later, hey, guys, it's trash day. Did you take the trash out? Oh, yeah, Dad, we'll get to it. Well, I promise, we're on it. Trash still not out. Third time, boys, take out the trash. And then they go. And so one day, he came home, it was trash day, trash hadn't been taken out, and he just went, got the trash, took it out to the driveway, and his boys saw him, and they were like, hey, Dad, like, thanks for doing that for us. Like, appreciate that. That was really nice of you. He's like, oh, yeah, it's no problem. And I get your allowance this week. It's no problem. No big deal. I get it. I got your allowance. All of a sudden, next week, they took the trash out. It wasn't a problem that the boys didn't want to take out the trash. He had established a stinky system to where they didn't do it until he asked them the third time. And so we're going to put some systems in place and go back to school. So y'all get your crayons out because we're going to elementary school. But before we go to school, can we take a selfie with y'all?
Yeah, let's do a selfie.
Okay, let's take a selfie.
Are you good at it? Do you have a good long arm?
I have a good long arm.
Okay.
I have longer arms than you, maybe.
Do you guys know to look at the hole and not yourself?
Yeah, so look at the hole.
Woo!
Okay?
Say cheese.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Cool. You should
Okay.
do a little panoramic.
Oh.
So while you're doing this, I'm going to do a little panoramic
Okay,
of y'all.
so we're gonna go to school. We're gonna go to school. So elementary school. So organization. Christine touched on this a little bit earlier. Think about if you have a real job. You go to a place where you sit to work. They don't send you to a building and then say, now find somewhere and sit down in a hallway with your laptop. You've got a space where all of your stuff is, where you can be organized. Because if you have sticky notes in your car and in your kitchen and on your bathroom mirror, guess what? You're going to lose them. You're not going to remember. And so you need everything in one spot. Now, I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to tell you that there's one method of organization that matters, but you have to find a way to get organized. You've got to find a way. So for me, I have a 3-year-old who absolutely hates everything electronic. He despises my computer, he despises my phone, but sometimes I have to do some business stuff when he's around. And so we go to the store together and we pick out a notebook, and it usually has Mickey Mouse or Spider-Man or something really professional on it. And I write down my business notes on one side while he colors on the other. And so it's a win-win. I'm a mom, I'm spending time, it's our notebook, he's not resentful, and it's a way that I can stay organized. So I'm going to give you something real fast. I want you to write this down because it's really important, because a lot of people are like, okay, when you say track my progress, that's great, but what do I track? What do you want me to track? You're going to track who you're talking to. You're going to write down names, but you're also going to write down how you talk to them. Was it in person? Do you have their phone number? Was it a text message? Was it a phone call? Was it Facebook inbox? Was that your personal page or was that your public page? Was it Instagram? Because guess what? What's up?
Sounds fast.
Sorry.
I think she's from New York.
I'm from the South, y'all.
Right.
But anytime you've got to write down the venue of where you're contacting them. And then you're going to, what you talked about and how you're going to follow up with them. And so just write down those 4 things. Who you talked to, where you talked to them, however that was, what you talked about, and how you're going to follow up. Because if you do that, it will take you an extra 30 seconds today, but it will save you 20 minutes of searching and possibly forgetting tomorrow.
Totally.
Because if you write it down, you'll do it. So when you sit down to work your business, and if you've ever sat there and twiddled your thumbs and going, okay, it's my business time, and I don't know what to do, that means you don't have a follow-up list from yesterday. Because your follow-up should be the very first thing that you do. And it'll help you tomorrow in setting time. So scheduling your time and activity. All right, so here's the deal. I want you to set business hours. I want you to set non-negotiable business hours of this is when I show up to work. This is when I clock in. And this is when I clock out. And have that time scheduled in your day. It's non-negotiable. It's when you work. It's when you show up. It's when stuff happens. And so if you have not established those no matter whats, and you're nervous about making it happen, and you've said, okay, I'm going to be connected to these conference calls, and I'm going to invite this many people, and I'm going to do that. If you don't, I want you to write down in your tracking what you did instead. Because we all have the same 24 hours in a day. We're all busy, but we just have to make choices, just like Darren Hardy was talking about in that session. You have to make choices. And so if you decide to watch a 4-hour marathon of the Jersey Shore, instead of being connected to your conference calls and doing your personal development, write that down in your business notebook. And you write those things down a couple of times, and all of a sudden you're like, ooh, excuses. I really don't. So organize your time and schedule that activity. Set up your Beachbody website. They've made it super easy for us, but just make sure that on there people can contact you, because you've got to be able to have these things established before people are going to start treating it like a business, because anybody can be a coach, right? If you got $39.95 in a pulse, you can be a coach. But if you want to be an emerald, there's other stuff that you've got to be able to do. So set up that website so that people can find you and figure out who you are. You need a personal why video. Guys, I'm not telling you, this does not have to be professional. It does not have to have wicked graphics. It just needs to be a very short, simple, concise thing that might make somebody ask, I want to know a little bit more about that. And they might start to dialogue with you. So don't overthink it. Why are you a Beachbody coach? Why are you a coach? And just tell people, this is why. And maybe people will think you're weird. And that's okay. They would never do business with you anyway if they think you're weird. But there might be somebody that's like, oh, that's really cool. I should talk to her about that. And so you never know what doors it might open for conversation. You need a Facebook group for your team, even if you have one person. Because your personally sponsored coach signed up with you because you inspire them, because they want you to train them. There was something about you that was special. And so go ahead and at the very beginning, when it's easy and when it's manageable, set up a Facebook group to where they know how to contact you, and you can have a hub where you're posting everything. So you're not going, oh, Payo's out. I got to text all my coaches. You got one spot where you go and where they know to go for information. So have that one group where they can get plugged in. And then a central location for documents, because just like, you know, the back office is awesome, and there are so many things where like, that is a great document, and every coach needs that. Instead of making them search for it in the back office, download it to your computer, upload it to Dropbox or Google Docs. Dropbox is free up to a certain extent. Google Docs is always free. You can have unlimited content there to where your coaches aren't going to have to look for stuff if you've already found it and you know that it's important for their success. Help them out. How cool would it be if you were personally sponsored by Christine Dwyer, and in her GSR she said, congratulations, you signed up with me, and so you get to start your business with everything that it's taken me 6.5 years to learn. Right. Would you kiss her feet?
No.
Don't do that. It might get awkward. Gross. But seriously, if your coaches should have that advantage to where they feel like when they sign up, I get to start my business with everything that it's taken her however long she's been a coach to accrue.
So to kind of go back into that organization side of it all, aside from just making sure that you have a place for your schedule, think about the whole side of organization. This is the activity that Michelle's talking about that you have to have nailed and completed if you're coach in Emerald right now or going to be, okay? So you cannot be Ruby and Diamond unless you've completed this stuff. So think about that. But what are the 3 vital behaviors that you're doing aside also with this stuff? What is number 1? Invite. 2. Product with product, and 3, personal development. So you're doing those 3 things as well with this stuff. Hopefully that makes sense. But with the organization, do you have your business cards? You need to have your business cards. You need to have a working space. You need to have the tools you need to be a success. You need to have the products there. So make sure as a coach in Emerald that you're getting all this stuff done. So as you move up, you're going to have it. And with the Facebook group, as Michelle was talking about, I hope you understood she's talking about a Facebook group for your personally sponsored coaches. Not your downline. You can have one for your downline, but always have one just directly for your personally sponsored coaches, because they need to hear from mama or papa, okay? They need to know that you're not just talking to their downline. You have to look at your business now, at whatever state it's in, as 5 years from now. Can what you're doing support a business 5 years from now at that capacity? And if it can't, you need to get this stuff in order, because your business is only going to explode if you're doing this as a career. And for those of you who are leaving or have to leave, just make sure that you want to stay, because at the end we've got some homework assignments that you might want to complete, because we're giving away something. So we're going next to middle school. All right, so for middle school, as this moves up, middle school is Emerald to Diamond. So this is the type of activity that you have to have completed if you are an emerald and through a diamond coach. Obviously, we all know that we like to skip Ruby a lot. Okay, make sure that we're coming up. Boom. Okay, so you're going to create templates for conversations. Because think about it. Now that you're an emerald to diamond, you've got your feet wet. You've got things happen in your business. You started having team cycle bonus. Things start clicking and making sense. But you've got coaches who are just joining that are coach to emerald who are doing the other activity. They don't know how to speak to people yet. So what you're going to create at middle school is the templates for them to follow. So it's your job in your corporation to create the employee handbooks, right? Mm-hmm. It's your job. And at this stage in your business, when you start to have some experience, is when you're going to create that. So some of the conversations that you would have is, how do you fit someone into the best workout? Create little scripts so that when people get those emails from people going, I want PIO, what is it, what is it? Rather than you typing it out every time, why can't you script that out, common ways to answer that same question, teach them to just personalize it, and they just copy-paste that so they can easily answer in the most efficient way and get the expected result. Mm-hmm. That's the biggest thing, is if you don't respond in the right way, you're not going to get the expected result. Too many times coaches will respond quickly to the question that's asked. Think about it. Mm-hmm. Have you ever had someone, when you're promoting a challenge group, has anyone ever emailed you and said, oh, I would like to do that challenge group. What is it and how much is it? Raise your hand if that's ever happened.
Oh, yeah.
Keep it up, keep it up, keep it up. Okay, so keep your hand up if you responded and you said, oh, it's awesome, we're going to be together in a Facebook group, you're going to get a program, you're going to get Shakeology, and it costs this much. Keep your hand up if you answered that way. Right, why are you answering their question how much it is? Do you know their need yet? Mm-mm. Because as soon as you answer their question with the price, they're like, oh, I don't have the money, sorry. You just wasted your time. Mm-hmm. I ignore that question, actually. I say, oh, great, I'm excited for you. Thanks, yes, you want to be a part of it? Awesome, tell me, why do you want to be a part of it? What do you want to get out of it? So what kind of workouts are you doing now? What do you like to do? Where do you fall off the wagon? Don't you think I make that a script for my coaches and I just say, copy, paste that to your people? I didn't answer the price. How do I know what the price is? I don't know what workout fits them yet.
That's right.
Right? I don't know their need yet. I haven't pulled into their emotional connection of why do they need to be in a challenge group. And until they've spilled the beans and I fit them into the right aspect, I funneled them down. I now say, perfect, you're going to get this, and all you're going to do is go to my site and get that, and it's this much. And then if they balk and they say, oh, I don't have the money. Oh, sorry. Let me know when time's right. I move on. That's what you got to think about, okay? So that has to be templates. Start creating conversations. For objections, you probably went to one of the conferences here for objections. Create templates for your team and house them somewhere. Facebook is a mess, right? With the files and the emails. Google Docs or Dropbox is one of the best places. A challenge group system. If you're telling your coaches to go run a challenge group and you don't have a step-by-step, blow-by-blow on how to do it, you're failing. Mm-hmm. You need to create that. They don't know how to do it. You need to tell them exactly what step one is to do. Say this, do this. I've made it so freaking easy for my coaches, they don't even need to think. They just need to be the robot that copy, paste, and watch a video, copy, paste. That's it. I created a Word doc that they go and copy, paste the text that goes on their Facebook posts, the response when people email them back, the response back again when the person emails them back. I've made it super simple. That's what you need to think about. The invitation system. Do they know how to personally invite people? I have a system I teach in my boot camps. I run boot camps for my downline, and it's called the 5-Point Quick Chat. It's a super simple system. It makes you feel kind of like, start you doing this. I teach my team,
Get them to practice.
Hey. Rather than going up to Michelle and saying, Michelle, I have a business that I would love that you would be perfect to do. I know that you would be awesome because you're just so amazing. Do you want to look at coaching? Desperate, asking her to be a part of it. People are really scared about it. I kind of go, well, you know, I mean, if you want, you can definitely look at it. You know, it's awesome. I mean, a lot of people are having great success. I kind of like, start doing that. Start shrugging your shoulders more than making this face.
It's called the I don't need you posture, and I learned this from her, and it's something that when I first heard her say that, I was like, that sounds really mean. but what it is it's smart, because do you want coaches that think that you need them, or do you want coaches that go, man, I need that business. I need those products. I need this. I need to make this happen. There's a completely different outlook that they have.
It's a feeling, yeah.
It's a feeling.
So the 5-point quick chat, if you want to see, I presented it at Summit 2 years ago. If you go on YouTube and Google Beachbody, Christine and Julie, I was presenting with Julie Boris. I taught it there. It's a simple system that will teach you how to schedule your week as well as how to present the business really quick for people. The other thing is, of course, how to follow up and have audios and videos and webinars for your team to be able to follow. Now we're moving into high school. So now you're diamond level to star diamond. You have to have all this stuff completed before you're at this rank. And if you don't, you're building a house on shaky ground. So now, as we move into high school.
And these templates, by the way, they shouldn't stress you out. Because if you're doing the things for your business and you're having conversations with people, this is just going to be the stuff that you're going, oh, this is valuable. I should share this with my downline. And so if you're doing what you should do, you should be creating templates every single day. And so it's just going to be a process. All right, so from diamond to star diamond, this is really, really important. We want a recognition system here. Okay, I want you to write this down. What is rewarded is repeated. What is rewarded is repeated. What activities would it be awesome if all of your coaches repeated? Success Club?
Yeah.
Signing up coaches? Advancing in rank? Do you have a recognition system? Do they know that, wow, you know, I'm going to get a phone call from my coach when I advance at rank. I'm going to get a thank you card. I'm going to get an Amazon gift card. I'm going to get a whatever. I'm going to get something that they know that they're working toward. So if you want that to happen, have a recognition system in place. For Success Club, rank advancement, and good fit habits, this is a chance for you to be able to let your coaches be able to go to your following. Because Transformation Tuesday, that is an awesome chance to get to promote your coaches, to show their transformation stories. And so get them in there and funnel your following to go, let's check out what my downline is doing. Because maybe somebody doesn't really resonate with your story, but they might connect with somebody from your downline, and they might decide to become a coach underneath them. And that's a great thing. That's a good thing. If they couldn't relate to you and they wouldn't do business with you, but they do business with somebody that does business with you, they end up doing business with you. And so promote your downline and get them some recognition and habits. Group management and training. This is coach basics. This is running boot camps. When you're putting all of these tools together and you're having this, how did you succeed in school? Did you have to take some tests? Did you have to do some assignments? And so if you have coaches that are really, really serious about wanting to advance in rank or wanting to increase their income, help them do it by giving them some daily steps that they can do every day and getting plugged into a group. At the very beginning, coach basics, and then you can work and develop your own training systems to where you're putting them into those groups to where they not only have accountability with you, but they're being matched up with other people that are trying to do the same thing. Does it sound familiar to something that we kind of run? Challenge groups, maybe? Same process works in your business. Exact same process. So start using those. And then team calls and webinars. This is where it's really important for your team to be able to hear from you. Because like attracts like. You know how, okay, it's awesome and we're all Beachbody family here, but when you get with your downline, isn't it just sometimes you just feel like everywhere you turn, you're looking in a mirror? So you're like, oh, she's kind of like me, and she is too. And so if it's worked for you in your business, chances are it's going to work for the people in your downline because they're like you. And so they need to be able to hear from you on a regular basis on things that you're doing and things that you can train them in. So if you really expect, if you've gotten to diamond, don't just expect your little turtle coaches to get there on their own. This is where you really have to take charge and say, listen, I want this for you. I don't want anything from you. I don't want to be star diamond, but I want you to be diamond. I don't want to be 8 bazillion star diamond, but I want this for you. And so recognize that with your coaches to where you're getting them plugged in to some training that you are offering in addition to what maybe your upline is doing, because it's so important that they hear from you when you get to this level. Because however many degrees of separation there are, they may not know the upline Star Diamond coach.
Right.
And so you've got to start being the face and taking some ownership at this level.
So pause and think of your thoughts right at this point. So you don't have to worry about running team calls and webinars if you're an Emerald coach, right?
Amen.
Because this is where the responsibility comes into play when it comes down to rank. So stop trying to do activity that shouldn't be done in the rank system that you are now. But now think about it. There's a lot of coaches who keep to stay in the shadow. They keep riding someone else's coattails because they're scared to step out on their own as a leader. That's where you now have to be real with yourself at this rank level, diamond to star diamond, and say, I need to step forward and start taking responsibility. As a leader, grooming leaders, it's kind of a double-edged sword because a lot of leaders go through this. I know I've gone through it when I initially started. You know, I created all this content. I would run all the training webinars and all of that stuff for my team. They'd all plug in. Everybody was in on it. I mean, all the super successful coaches, a lot of them that you saw up on stage, a lot of the 15 stars, they were working under the stuff that I created. Then they off went on their own and started running their own team calls and webinars. Mama got a little like, oh, so they don't like my stuff anymore. You kind of feel that. But that's actually good. You got to get over that because they need to. They need to step out and be a leader. How could Janelle Summers not ever stand out on her own? She's my coach. She was doing what I was doing when I first started, but she had to step forward and do for herself. Hillary Kelly had to step forward, start doing for herself. Allie Upham, they had to step out and be a leader. Stop riding coattails if you're a diamond to star diamond and start leading in front of your team and start taking obligations for calls and webinars that you run yourself. There's some free services out there that you can go and search to be able to do for yourself. So training and tracking is just keep record of where your coaches are in their training. I personally keep a Google Excel document where all my coaches' names are on the one side, and I keep the training of what they should do, like a getting started call, Coach pays the group, blah, blah, blah. And we check off when they've completed it. So you keep a tracking of where coaches are, so you can know kind of where you can work with them. And as we touch on the star diamond, we only need to touch on this one because this one, of course, is going to only impact a fewer amount of you all in here. But when or if you are a star diamond, here's your responsibility. You really have to think about creating ways to elevate your leaders. So you need to edify leaders. And we're going to talk about how that's one way to do it. You need to constantly keep creating new content for your downline. Don't think just for yourself and your personally sponsored coaches. You have to think about your downline and constantly create new reasons for people to check back with you. I maintain a website and I run the newsletter and I'm constantly putting new training and content up there. You have to establish communal training and support, again, running camps, coach basics, but you basically need to edify your leaders and bring them back up. As we wrap this up, we have 2 more slides. This is really important. Pay it back up. Now, again, having had a lot of leaders come from my belly as well as throughout my downline, we have a lot of successful people in the organization, and throughout the whole organization of Team Beachbody. We have a lot of successful coaches. People tend to build success in their lives. And I'm not saying it's just this organization. It goes in everything. Think about it. In your jobs, in other businesses, in other areas of life. Have you known people who were, struggling and building and learning from wherever they were learning, and then they created success, and then when they became successful, they forgot where they came from? They never recognized what they learned from before. They always then give themselves the own credit of, I did it myself, I learned myself. It's impossible. You're learning from something. Actually, being a coach nowadays is super simple. We've figured it out, right? Pretty much. No one has it perfect. I'm not perfect. I don't know it all. I'm constantly learning. Are you constantly learning?
Always.
Constantly. We don't know this, but there's a whole trail of success. I mean, look how many 15 stars there were up on stage. That's ridiculous. 10 new 15 stars in 1 year. That's ridiculous. That's awesome. But that means it's there. It's all there for you. So to be a coach nowadays, to be successful, is easy because there's all the whole path of it all. Don't forget where you come from. When you become successful, pay it back up. And what that means is don't constantly just do for your team and down, constantly do for where you came from. And Michelle does this for me. I love that Michelle offers herself to run webinars and calls.
Well, it's important to me because, I mean, I told you guys that I know how to present the business, and the reason why I know how to present the business is because I watched all of the leaders on the Platinum Presenter Call on Tuesday nights. I watched that. Not because I needed to sign up again, but although when I usually got to the end of it, I wanted to sign up all over again. But it was how I learned how to present the business. And so now I want to pay it back because that was a service that's helped me to get to where I am. And I want to tell on myself because they tooted my horn by saying that I went diamond in 9 days after going emerald. But I want to be real with y'all, and I want to tell you that I was 2-star diamond for 2.5 years. And I didn't advance. And I had gotten to the place where I knew that I had to be a leader, but I was doing everything by myself. I didn't take any leaders and give them any leadership roles. Because why would Christine put them in their organization if they hadn't even proven themselves to me yet? If I didn't know what they were capable of? And so, if you want more leaders in your organization, create systems that let leaders lead. Because if you let leaders lead, guess who flocks? Leaders.
Yeah.
And you want more leaders on your team, don't you? So create systems that allow your leaders to lead and pay it back up.
Okay, so here's our final slide. You guys have homework if you want. Okay.
If you want a prize.
Right. And we're going to announce the prize after, but look at the hashtag. That's why we did our hashtag skit. The Coach Edge. Basically, when you complete the homework assignment, which is due by next Sunday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Michelle and I are going to pick 4 winners out of the 4 different grades. So whatever rank you are, and if you complete that assigned homework for that grade you are, tag it with the Coach Edge. And we're going to look at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for these videos. They're videos, okay, that your homework assignment is. But you need to tag that for us to randomly pick one person out of each grade to win, which is coming up. So in elementary school, if you're a coach or an Emerald coach,
you're going to do a 60-second video, so just 1 minute on what has changed since becoming a coach. This can be a physical transformation. It can be a financial, maybe just that little extra income has helped you do something. Whatever it is, just a 60-second video telling people about it, what has changed since becoming a coach.
Yep, something simple. If you are middle school, if you are an Emerald to Diamond, you need to do a 3-minute video or less on how to fit someone in the right workout, a guide of questions. So this can be a public video because when you put video out there, people are going to, of course, see what you're doing, and they're going to follow you. A lot of people don't know how to pick the right workout for themselves. If you make a little video, it's going to teach your coaches how to do it, but it's also going to teach the public how to pick the right workout as well. So that's your assignment if you're in middle school.
And in high school, Diamond to Star Diamond, 3-minute video or less, again, on how you track your downline success. And so this, again, is a great way for you to be able to show people, I don't sponsor you and forget you. I sponsor you, I notice what you're doing, and I recognize you for it. And so this is a plug for your own business. This is a plug for you while you're elevating your leaders. It is a double win.
Double win.
Double.
And if you are in college, you are a Star Diamond coach, you will have a 3-minute video or less introducing your emerging leaders with the team responsibility. So you're basically going to be announcing, hey, Michelle is going to start doing some of the team calls. I'm so excited. She's been building her business. She's an elite coach. She's been rocking, and she's going to start doing this with me. That then announces to the public again that, oh, wow, there's people that are doing things and things are happening, as well as the team sees the leaders emerge. We'll pick a winner from each grade by next Sunday, and each grade will win a 30-minute call with Michelle and myself. Yes. Anything you want.
And you can invite your downline. This doesn't have
Anybody.
to be just with you. It can be. It can be with you, or we'll do a call for your team, or whatever.
Whatever you want. So, like, if you want
Within
to be
reason.
yeah, 30 minutes. Q&A.
Beachbody related.
If you want us to teach you some other system or something else, something motivational, you decide what you want this call to be, and we're going to tag team do that for y'all. So, thank you guys so much for coming. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
Let's give one final thing.